yes, thank you very much, me and my binocular. And Kevin, of course, he puts lots of messages on my channel. So he's talking there and he's explaining that take a look at the geographical maps. My daughter's doing Glossie's nails. Can you hear? Just shut the door in case you can hear. The geological maps of the world. You will see a path of destruction, desert, landscape. Why is nobody talking about Tambora 1815? The old land bridge also reappears. Zealander. So I thought I'd go and look up, because obviously the Zealander one is New Zealand, but I went to look up the Tambora one. So let's carry on. And also, thank you very much to the person. I used a little bit of footage from this person's video. They explained it really well. And obviously I'm sticking my stuff in, well, the stuff I recorded in.
The eruption of Mount Tambora in April 1815 was the largest volcanic cataclysm in historical times. Its global and diverse consequences were only gradually recognized and are now very important for climate research. The supervolcano that caused the year without summer has acquired a late worldwide fame shortly before its 200th birthday.
Obviously, I don't mind anybody using my stuff. You know, just as long as maybe you put my name there, that's all, or the channel name. But anyway, so there you go. This is the one about New Zealand, see, Zealandia. Okay, and it happened rather a long time ago. You can almost can't imagine that, can you? But anyway, then comes Tambora, saying that is set on an elevation before eruption. It had, so basically the mountain was a lot taller before the explosion than after the explosion. So anyway, let's move on because we're going to put these bits in between. And you know, we would like to know what it was that did something, and everybody feels it's the 1800s. And I said the early 1800s and maybe the late 1800s, but we also had the Lisbon earthquake in the 1700s, which must have done enormous damage then, if this is what tsunamis do, because the water went up into Europe, over to America, Miami, England. It went all around there. It must have gone even further the other way. So that would have been a catastrophic thing as well. But this one is supposed to be a lot worse. This is supposed to be one of the biggest volcano explosions in its time, and it happened in 1815. And then that would fit into the time about a world catastrophe, maybe, because you see, it changed the weather and loads of people died because it was so cold. We'll see that information as we go through the video. So I just was looking through the internet at a bit of information, as I, you know, hadn't realised that this had been such. There you go, I think that was the worst one in history. Oh no, that was 2018. They say it's one of the worst in the year. But there you go, so what does it say there? It says, the year without the summer, poverty, etc, etc. Look at that, all caused because of the soot and smoke. Well, not soot, but all the, you know, it's not smoke, is it? But whatever that is, coming out of the volcano and covering everywhere with a layer of dust and whatever it was, and it blocked the sun out. And then it talks about tsunamis. I'd never, you know, if these things are real, then this is how things change, tsunamis. But that one killed thousands and thousands of people because there's no sun and it was so cold. That's what it says. Anyway, let's just carry on with the video a little bit.
The magnitude of the catastrophe that occurred 200 years ago is evident in all its splendor. In the Indonesian archipelago, two oceanic and two continental plates collide. In the area of the Lesser Sunda Islands, the Indonesian plate slides under the Asian continental plate. Here, on the little known island of Sumbawa, stands Mount Tambora.
It's hard to imagine if you were living here when this thing blew, would you want to be anywhere? Oh my god, it just... Anyway, but if this is real, then you know that they have all the information about what's happened to us. Obviously the figures change a bit. One said a lot more people had died, but it was still obviously a catastrophic thing. There it is down there in those islands there near Indonesia. And then, yes, it blasted 12 cubic miles of gases, dust and rock into the atmosphere. Wow. Quite incredible, can't imagine. And then no sunlight. And then this is Wikipedia, which, you know, if you try and look things up, you don't find them. But because I've put in stuff, it's showing me all these earthquakes. Tambora. Get it right, Karen. Tambora. So it's the largest observed earthquake. That's what that writing there says. Obviously you can stop and read any of this that you want to. It's just too much. I cannot read all that. We'd be here for hours. But that's what they're saying. Wikipedia though, but you know, sometimes that's where you see the information. It would have been horrible with all those gases, not very nice. I mean, lots of people think that they are smelt. You know, that they are leftovers and they've been roaring away, and that's from the people who mined us. I don't know about that, but they're not hot, because I made videos about that where people are really walking on it in plimsolls, and it just wouldn't happen if it was that hot. You wouldn't be able to get near it like that. So it can't be hot then if you've just got plimsolls and trainers on, no special gear. Obviously you wouldn't want it touching you, it obviously reacts. This is as hot as they say lava is. It's quite incredible really, this whole thing, because it obviously reacts when it touches things. We saw that on a fateful day, you know, 2001 wasn't it, where things were happening that they couldn't really explain. But if that's boiling temperature, look how hot they are saying lava is. But it seems to me when it comes to it, all you need is a pair of trainers. Can't be that hot then, can it? That you can stand on it. This girl in her video is saying that inches below them are cavities of lava bubbling away. But she's able, in a pair of trainers and no jumper, with temperatures like that, to pick up molten lava. I don't think we understand what it really is, but it does react and do things. It's just not hot like they say it is. He's able, in a pair of trainers, no jumper, to stick a stick in it. Incredible, isn't it? It just goes on and on. So we have a lot of information about this volcanic eruption, which seems in 1815 to be one of the worst. And then I think this is other volcanic eruptions. Obviously that's AD, 1257 AD, 1600. So fatalities. And I think there you go, look, it says between 70, because it's the worst catastrophe. I might go and look up the East Dutch Company, East Dutch Indies, and see what that actually means. We probably know what it means, but I'm going to go and look that up in a minute. Better write that down. I just found it very interesting. Thank you very much to the reader that put this in. Very much appreciative, because obviously it's always good to see different aspects of this horrible place. Lovely place really, but horrible with them in it. Place to live in. So there you go. And so obviously not everything is down to global warming, and if it is, it's naturally happening. But I would say that when I looked it up, there's probably more volcanoes happening this side of, yeah, there's probably more volcanoes happening now. We're going to stop for a moment.
Sumbawa is located between the well-known islands of Lombok and Flores, 2 meters high Gunung Rinjani. It is the second highest volcano in Indonesia. Before the year 1815, Gunung Tambora was approximately 500 meters higher than Rinjani. However, according to recent scientific research, Mount Rinjani already erupted with supervolcanic strength, and in the year 1258 caused a year without summer in Europe. According to ancient chronicles, this eruption destroyed the capital of the Kingdom of Lombok. The significant acid signal it left in Arctic ice is similar to that of the Tambora cataclysm, which occurred 200 years ago. It had the explosive power of 170,000 Hiroshima bombs.
So these are all the volcanoes that they're going to tell us about. And there's quite a lot of them, and a lot of them say tsunami. I mean, that one's 71 BC. So they do have information about things, don't they? Because they wouldn't be able to tell us all this, would they? So there you go. So earthquake, Gulf tsunami. So it tells you on there, these earthquakes or whatever, volcanoes, what they caused. A lot of them, it's earthquakes here. I think that one there, the Lisbon one, that one, I think that's the one that we did, and that was catastrophic. Ross is mumbling around down there. There you go, see the orphan tsunami, they cause tsunamis. I think nearly all of these would have caused tsunamis. And some of them, that's Norway, that one. There you go, tsunami. Most of these, there you go, the great 1771 tsunami. I suppose any one of these could have kind of, there's another one, tsunami, 1792. Any one of these probably could have, but that one that we're covering now, there was no sun for about a year and the weather got so cold and it killed loads of people. Do you think that might have been the one where they were, after that, repopulating everywhere because everybody died? There's that one that we're doing today, the Tambora. Tsunami. There are quite a few of them, but I feel that, well, maybe there isn't, but I just thought, oh, it looks like there's a few more happening lately. But was all this global warming? Was this all global warming? Because we didn't supposedly have machinery and stuff in these days. Maybe now in the 1800s. Tsunami. 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 I think most of these would have caused tsunamis. Do you think there's a few more, a bit more recently? And that's in the 40s. That's probably to cover up, that's what the wars were to cover up, the earthquakes. Seems to be a few more in recent years, but then haven't they been doing all their nuclear testing or whatever it was they were doing? It probably caused them. Tsunami. I reckon most of these would have caused tsunami somewhere around them. And there is quite a few, isn't there? Or maybe they weren't recording how many were happening. You know, they didn't record all the tsunamis before. Maybe some cultures weren't recording them and some have. Tsunami, 2004. It goes on. There are quite a few. I think you can see there's a few more modern ones. And this would have shifted water, but it's still not global warming, is it? Not by us. There you go. There's another one there, 2009, I think. And then there's a couple with little draw. We're going to play those in a moment. I thought that was quite a good thing to do. But anyway, we're just finishing off all these problems. Even Greenland has them. Tsunami. Yes, right, so we're going to play the next bit. Oh yes, what's that one? We're going to play, it's not quite finished yet. 23. Oh, look at that, Japan 24. But anyway, we're going to, oh, that one there in Greenland again, look at that. Anyway, we're going to put the next bit on now.
The Tambora cataclysm was most probably the biggest volcanic catastrophe in historical times. It reached the magnitude of 7 on the Volcanic Explosivity Index, and it is the only historical recorded eruption of a supervolcano. The eruption of Tambora did not come totally unexpected. Earthquakes occurred in the 3 years before 1815.
There you go. It's because Holland, Netherlands, invaded it all. Before us. They don't really talk that much about, you know, because obviously they'd been sailing the world then. So we could have been that far backward, could we? But anyway, that's the the Dutch East Indies. There you go.
and in the beginning of April 1815 there was an eruption of lower magnitude. The actual cataclysm started in the evening of April 10th. 3 columns of flame rose up over the mountain, united and triggered massive pyroclastic flows. These avalanches of molten rock, ash and tephra shot down the mountain slopes. They destroyed everything that stood in their way and transformed Tambora and large parts of the Sangha Peninsula into a burning inferno. At the same time, a dense rain of ash and pumice set in. The sea was covered for miles with tephra, and the fall of tephra was observed as far as 1,300 miles away. According to the English governor of Java, the blast of the explosion was so powerful that it could be perceived 2,600 kilometers away. The explosion, the ash rain and tsunamis, as well as the related crop failures, killed about 70,000 people.